I taped off the back right here and made sure that that fits together, sort of, instead of them going over each other. So let's start the next part, and for that we'll need the 3 colors again that we used before, and we also need to do that twice. I already taped off my ends with some tape, and we're going to try and get that and I'm going to take another arm span wide of Fireline. Put a knot in your Fireline. And I'm going to find the middle. Go up. And this is where we start. I'm going to start with the white one first. This one. And then that one. Pull that through. And go back. And do that one more time, just to make sure. And then cut off this thread. And then cut off this thread. Make sure you don't cut through the knot though. Okay, now I added a little pearl here, but I really didn't like that. So I'm going to add like a silver flowerish bead, and I'm going to go into my bead, and I'm going to go into the side here, and I'm going back up. And coming out. Over here, where I started. And now I got my little flower right in the middle where I would like it. And I'm going down, moving over a little bit. I'm moving over a little bit more. Just baby steps on both sides. And then I'm about ready to add my first Swarovski bicone. So I'm going to pick up my bicone, and I'm going to stick that down, and I'm going to stick that all the way through, and carefully pull that through. And you might think that's too close to the flower, but when the flower gets positioned correctly, then it will be okay. I'm gonna go back up, and if you want to move that over just a little bit, then you can do that by going into the bicone and just moving it over a little bit next to the other thread. Going in there. There. Now I've got my first bicone on there. I'm going to move over a little bit. Baby steps. And a little bit more. And now I'm about ready to put my next bicone in there. And you can do this with seed beads too. You really don't need bicones. And going down there. And this will give me a chance to pull up the inner white in case that disappeared a little bit. And you gotta just do this gently and carefully. And make sure you're in the middle. And if you feel that that's too far apart, you can also just kind of move it backwards. Back up again. Back down again. And adding another bicone. And you're going to do this all the way till you go out of sight, right, with the bicones. Because you're not going to be doing bicones on the back. That's a waste of beads, of course. So I say pause me now until you get to the back. Okay, I have added my last one. Now I'm just going to go to the back. And I'm just going to close that up. Baby steps. And tie that down to the row on the front, making sure I don't go through my braid on the front. Okay, and as I have done this, I'm going to close that up again. And I'm going to the other side of my braid, closing this up. And now you need to look on the front, if you're there yet, to add the other row of bicones. So just a couple of more stitches and I'll be there. I was busy on the other side and then I started yapping and I ended up, and turns out my disc of my card was full. So I finished it up and now I'm going to show you what to do. I've did this whole area, and now first I'm going to add my first bicone. Now first I'm going to put on my glasses, and then I'm going to add my first bicone. Okay, so that should be about here. I'm doing this on the back side. Why? Because I need to go back, because this thread still needs to be attached to the braid underneath. So I'm doing my first one. I'm checking to see, move it over a little bit, obviously. That should be about it. And now I'm going back into the bicone again. If I can manage that. And down the 3 braids. I'm going up the 3 braids. in between my braids on the front, checking if I don't stick through them. And going down in my braids here now and tying that down. I'm going to do that twice. Just making sure that my thread doesn't get entangled with the braids. There. And now I'm going to go back in. And this is damaged, but it's on the back, and that's okay. I don't mind my back damaged as long as my front isn't damaged. And then I'm going to continue. And I'm going to turn that around now because I want to see how that goes from the front. So, got my first bicone, need to add the second, and then just all the way around until you bump into these threads right here. And I'll show you how to attach the other side of this and how to add a little bead in the middle here. And I also added a little bead over here right in above the little silver flower here. So I'll show you that. So just continue your way. I got 8 on here, don't know how many you have, but just finish that up to the other side. And now that we added the last one, we're up here. And we're going back down into the flower on 2 sides or into your pearl, and pull that down into the side, like that. And we're going to go back up to ensure that is tight. In there. Still making sure I'm in the middle. And now I'm going to go down one more time, and I'm going in towards this middle right here. Going down. Going out. And you can use whatever you like. I like to use a Monty, and they have 4 holes. Mine are on each side of them. I have a hole, but you got like Monties that have holes, 2 holes on one side, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go straight across from here on out to the other side. down a little bit. Somewhere over here. And I need to get back in there. And straighten my Monty. So that would be, in this case, go a little bit upwards, like that. There. Now I'm going back in my flower. Back to the side. Go back in there. Pick up a seed bead. And go to the other side. Make sure my seed bead is in between that flower. And go back. That same route one more time. Okay, and now since you know how to do these shouldn't be a problem either. Basically works the same. Just get them around and get your braid through the back, tape them up, and you got all that part all set up. So this is part 2. I hope you like it, and yes, I know it's not perfect and it's not even straight. This would be more straight like that. Yeah, I will fix the flaws. I'll do that in part 3 of this tutorial. And never mind the steps you're going through. I'm still learning, so probably are you. Things will get more well-rounded as you go along. Things will get nicer and tighter. Obviously, I didn't make that tight enough. So that's what's up next, people. Hiding the flaws. See you guys in the next video.